So let's talk about the pros and cons of multi-track recording. When I say multi-track recording, I'm actually not talking about what I do, which is like 4 guys live in a room recorded to 8 separate tracks, right? Those are the records I make.
Right.
For really specific reasons.
You're talking more about where it's like one track at a time, but it's lots and lots and lots of tracks.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so like Sounds in Between, we re-recorded one track.
Mm-hmm.
And it was frustrating to agree to do it, but it was the right call. The version we came out with is significantly better than what we recorded the first time.
Okay.
So, but it's another day, and where we recorded what, 9 songs the last session. This one we spent all day doing one take of something else. This is the pitfall of multi-track recording.
Yes.
So we needed to overdub the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And the drums were bleeding into the original oud a lot. Plus, when that was loose, then everything else gets loose. So overdubbing is just a nightmare. You're almost required to use a click track. In hindsight, we should have used a click track.
Okay.
But, here we are. So
I thought that was kind of using a click track for them was a little difficult because of the time signatures.
I think that one was okay, but it's a great tune, and the performance came out really well. But we probably spent 5 hours today manufacturing that performance, where we could have gotten it in 4 or 5 takes with a drummer.
Yeah.
And that's the pitfall with multi-track recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is when you're actually trying to make output, you can spend 24 hours on a song. I've certainly done it. That was kind of my budget when I was doing those, like, I sing and I need you to make a whole band behind me. I would spend about 24 hours per track.
Yeah.
And break that up into 2 12-hour days, it would take you 20 days to make an album that way.
Mm-hmm.
At 12-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm down to do that, but I have a day job, right?
Yeah.
So we have to make our records the way they were originally made, which is very live in a room.
Mm-hmm.
We record to multiple tracks all at once, like we record each microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're cognizant about bleed,
mm-hmm.
but you can't truly remove something or add it.
Right.
But you get a lot of control in the mix. And I think a lot of people get hung up on this, like they decide they want to multi-track and overdub and overdub and overdub, and it's great because it sounds better, but the reality is you're going to spend all that time, you're not going to get better. You're just going to get frustrated. And really the way to do it is to get together with a group of people and get better, like spend that time rehearsing and then get it in one complete take, and you're going to be much happier with it.
Sure, and also when you do it with a group, you're feeding off each other's energy, so it tends to make for a more interesting track.
It's true. Well, that's why you would get better, right?
Yeah.
Doing these endless overdubs by yourself doesn't count as practice.
No. And you lose the energy, especially as you get frustrated with
Absolutely. Right. So I'm not advocating do it like with no effort, but you gotta be reasonable when you're doing these kinds of recordings.
Mm-hmm.
And getting people live in a room gets a better performance every time.
Sure.
And unless you want to go in and spend 10, 15 hours editing, the only way to do it realistically is to record live. I use tape. The tape keeps me from going down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Digital, I could fake a lot of things,
yeah.
but I don't, because I don't have the time, and I believe in making records in a documentary way.
Well, you've also done projects where you literally did it a track at a time, and
yeah,
it's not like you've never done it that way.
Yeah, no, I've made pop records.
So,
but I don't think you get a better result. I think you get a lot more polish.
Sure.
That's about it. So though, I mean, there's a lot of cons. The pros of multi-track recording is usually technological or logistical. So
Yeah.
if all you have are two inputs, yeah, you probably want to do some overdub if you're not trying to make a very acoustic sounding record.
Mm-hmm.
And if all you have is two inputs, I would recommend getting more inputs. I believe in at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
I use 4 on the drums. I record to 8 tracks,
Sure.
and I mean that's what I work with. I have a 16 channel board, but I don't usually do sessions that require 16 channels except Freeform Fridays. Those are my big.
Yeah.
Oh,
But also, multi-track comes in handy if you happen to be a solo artist without a band,
yeah, but
and you're looking to do
get
a band
band.
record. Yeah, but if you're looking to, do a band record, or if you're looking to do even a demo with with band instrumentation,
Okay, they're good for demos.
and maybe you can't really play drums, but you can play one drum at a time, which I know people who have
sounds
done it that
awful.
way.
Don't do it.
But I know people who have done it that way, and it turns out okay sometimes. Granted,
that point,
some of
you're-
these people have had many, many years of experience doing it this way. So, but yeah,
Just learn how to
That's-
play the drum. Okay.
that's easier said than done for some people.
Well, I think a lot of it is you got to realize is what you're dealing with a permanent problem? No, never.
Sure.
Right? It's a temporary problem. You multi-track to solve problems. Like if you want to work with people who are not nearby,
Yeah.
you have to do multi-track. But the result sounds different. The performance sounds different,
Sure.
and you're better. I would say you're better off spending your time trying to get sounding really great in a room than trying to collaborate with people over the internet. So what are your thoughts on the multi-track recording, right? We do a lot of this production stuff, so subscribe, right? We do a video every day.
Yep.
Some days it's audio stuff. Some days it's, what we got going on in our world. So, all right, let's move on. What's next?